With the release of a new anthology set in the world of the post-apocalyptic novel, there has never been a better time to finally read Stephen King's longest novel, The Stand. Many readers might assume that it, the generation-spanning story of a killer clown menacing the town of Derry, Maine, is the longest Stephen King novel. However, this is a common misconception. King's longest novel is actually The Stand, a post-apocalyptic epic fantasy from 1978. Set in a world devastated by a deadly pandemic known as Captain Trips, The Stand follows a diverse array of characters as they navigate a brutal battle between good and evil at the end of the world. With the end of the world as we know its release, it's the perfect time to read The Stand. The anthology is filled with stories set in the world of The Stand. Owen Teague as Harold Lauder in The Stand. On the side of good, there is Mother Abigail, an elderly sage who guides a group of survivors trying to rebuild society. On the side of evil, there is Randall Flagg, a supernatural entity who uses his influence to take over Las Vegas and rebuild it in his image. Between them, there are dozens of characters constantly switching allegiances. Now, the arrival of the anthology The End of the World as We Know It, New Tales of Stephen King's The Stand promises to open up the world of this epic novel even further. Edited by Christopher Golden and Brian Keene, this new anthology of short stories is set entirely in the world of The Stand. With stories by Wayne Brady, Maurice Broadus, Poppy Z. Bright, V. Castro, Richard Chismar, S. A. Cosby, Tananarive Dew, Usman T. Malik, Premi Mohammed, Cynthia Pelayo, Brian Smith, Paul Tremblay, Catriona Ward, and many, many more. This anthology is a must-read for King fans. However, its stories won't make much sense without reading King's The Stand first. Why Stephen King's longest book is absolutely worth the commitment. The Stand is an epic blend of fantasy horror and post-apocalyptic sci-fi. Stephen King frowns in Chain Reactions, Image from Everett Collections. Fortunately for anyone worried about the outsized commitment, The Stand is well worth your time as a reader and a fan of King. The immersive fantasy story blends elements of sci-fi and horror with straightforward character drama, creating a world that is by turns terrifying, tragic, hopeful, and sometimes even surprisingly funny. The book also includes some of King's best characters.